Hey, it's Noah McDivitt here with Dom Ferreira. We're doing a series called Scene by Scene. Today we're going to be looking at test screenings and how they affected the overall outcome of a movie, right?
Yep.
In general, test screening is a pretty important part of post-production for a film. But you know what? It doesn't get a lot of love. Not many people know much about it. So yeah, let's get right into it.
Let's jump on into it. I'm ready.
Okay. So first of all, test screening, right? You make your movie, first draft, you like what you got, but you don't know how audiences are going to react to some scenes, some shots, some different characters, endings, stuff like that. So you send it to a group of people. They take people from ages 18 to 45, because that's the general audience, right?
Yeah, that's a big range.
Yeah, it is a big range. But I think that's the point, though, is to get everybody's opinion. So you can make, the best film possible. But so you get everybody together, and then you put them in a room, you play the movie, and they're going to give you a score. Generally speaking, it's going to go from 100, like 0 to 100, with 80 and above being like, yeah, you got a good movie. You don't got to change much. Just, maybe fix a few shots, take out some music here and there, and you just slap that baby in theaters. But other times, they don't respond as well. And nobody likes their movie getting critiqued. But that's generally speaking, that's what it is. People 18 to 45 grading your movie based on what they like, what they don't like. They'll give you some suggestions. You just gotta work out the kinks, and then you go from there, right? So a couple of different movies have, like lots of movies. Every movie, generally speaking, now that comes out, mainstream movies go through test screening processes. Some movies, directors like Christopher Nolan with his Dark Knight trilogy.
Yes.
They didn't ever go through test screenings.
Really?
Yeah, that's right. He just took them all and he just pushed them right out. He didn't care what they had to say. Yeah.
That is crazy. I never knew that.
Yeah.
To think that the whole like trilogy he's done, and none of it was seen before public eyes.
Nope.
Nobody was like, yeah, this is a little fishy. I figured, I don't know. The Penguin always seemed weird to me in any of those movies.
Yeah.
So I guess I could definitely see them not test screening or rerunning it before.
Right.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Other movies, you can count them all on your fingers. Blade Runner, Jurassic Park, I don't know, Friends.
Pretty much any big movie production.
Right. Movie, TV. They all went through test screening type things. Friends actually is kind of an interesting case because, everybody knows Friends. It's the one of the biggest sitcoms of all time. It's iconic, whatever. Yeah.
I actually don't know Friends.
You don't know Friends?
I don't know Friends.
I've never watched it either.
Oh, okay. Woo! Oh, glad we're safe there.
Yeah. But Friends tested very poorly, like extremely poorly, like 20 to 30 range. They didn't like the characters. They didn't like the setting. They thought everything was bland.
Did they change it or just keep it how?
Not really. They kind of just shoved her out. And that's another aspect of test screening is that sometimes, you push it through and you like what you got, and then you hear recommendations and you just don't do anything about it. And like in the case of The Dark Knight and all the other Batman movies that Christopher Nolan pushed out, that worked really well.
Mm-hmm.
But for some other movies, that didn't go so well.
I think it definitely is one of those. It's a 50-50 thing where if you're in the eyes of a company and you're wanting the most positive feedback on your movie, and I as a human being would want that, but when people are being too picky, I feel like there's just a point where it's like, okay, if you don't like this character, but it fits well with the script, I think then that's just like a person type of opinion. So I feel like broadcasting facilities will only go to a certain point with it, until they're like, okay, yeah, this is our movie. You're not making it.
Right.
I feel like they get to that point a lot.
Right. And a lot of the time, movies go through, different stages in time where, things that are happening in the media and in the world kind of affect what's happening. I got an example here. I don't know have you ever seen the movie Buffalo Soldiers?
Mm-mm.
Okay. It's kind of it's like a military comedy. Very unfortunate release time. It came out. They did test screenings on. They had it set for September 12th of 2001, the day after the 9/11 attacks. And yeah, so nobody wanted anything that was unpatriotic. Everybody was America. Yeah, it was very unfortunate. And they ended up getting pushed back for forever, like 2+ years, I think.
Wow.
Yeah, it was terrible.
I mean, I feel like respectfully they made a good choice with holding it back.
Absolutely. And yeah, the company, I think Miramax was the production company with this one. They weren't gonna push that.
Oh yeah,
You're
no.
not making any money off of something like that. That's a terrible idea.
At that point, I feel like their whole company would just deplete.
Yeah, absolutely.
Ooh.
Absolutely. Not good at all. And then some example. I have an example here of a movie where it had sort of a darker-ish type ending.
Okay.
And, you know, everybody likes a storybook ending. Everybody likes to sit down and be like, heck yeah, I like this. I like a smile. I like, I sat here for an hour and a half and I'd like to be happy at the end of it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever seen the movie The Descent?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So in the UK version of the movie, right, the lady dies in the cave, and that's just the end of the movie, right? She just dies to the little crawler guys, and people in the US were like, I don't really like that. That's kind of sad. So they petitioned to change the ending and have at least one of the characters survive. So.
Oh man, that's really crazy.
Yeah.
Did they want to continue the movie for like a next movie, or was it just like it one of those things where it was like we just want a character to survive?
No, I mean I'm sure they would have, because there was a Descent Part 2 with mostly the same cast, but I don't think the studio was really going to go in that direction. But that's an interesting point, because I think the audience score and their decision that they we want a happier ending actually influenced the studio's decision to make a second movie and kind of, made the subject more malleable, able to work with more. So that's kind of an interesting point. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, another one. James Bond, License to Kill. It was a great movie, whatever. It wasn't necessarily disliked by the test screening audiences, but in the US, it was originally called License Revoked. And in the US, people were like, license revoked, like my driver's license?
Yeah, that sounds...
Right. So they kind of didn't like that, and they gave it a lower score for it, so they ended up changing the movie to License to Kill.
License to Kill. That sounds a lot better.
It makes more sense.
Yes,
Yeah,
definitely.
So, yeah.
So good choice there. Yeah, good call there.
Yeah,
but
much better choice, absolutely.
Okay, so public opinion really has a big influence on movie industries and how they make and what they do.
Right. And that's kind of the point is, you don't know what it's going to look like, and you don't want to just put out a first draft, right? It's like revising an essay when you go to turn it in. It's like you don't want just your own opinion. You want somebody to look over it and give their opinion. So
that's a really good point of view of of looking at it, because like peer reviews, whenever I'm doing a peer review with like one of my buddies, I always find an extra T and the or something that I just skip over every.
Something little that it's like you can improve this here.
Like
and here.
I remember in Batman, I think I can't remember which one it was, but in one part of the movie, Batman is sitting in front of bulletproof glass, and Joker's right in front of him. Right. And as the camera is panning from right to left, you can see in the bulletproof window, you can see a camera.
Right.
And I feel like that wouldn't have been there in the actual production movie, because like if you go in the movie and you look close enough, you can see the camera. Mm-hmm. I feel like they missed that, but that is why screening is like such an important thing.
Absolutely. And yeah, you're definitely
you miss such little aspects like that, and it's like it could be very detrimental.
Yes, extremely detrimental. And and there you go. I mean, I think we've proved here that test screening is incredibly important for the production process of a movie, and It can totally influence how the movie ends, the characters inside the movie, different shots and scenes that have become iconic. It's just, yeah.
Yeah, it's really something to think about how a group of regular citizens can completely change the ending to a movie,
Right.
and make it something that like is more suitable to how a group or an audience wants it.
Right.
It's definitely,
Yeah.
it makes it better.
Yes, it does. So,
Yeah, that will conclude the podcast for today, guys. This is Team Rocket signing out.
yeah, that's right.
Um,
Dom and Noah.
Dom and Noah.
Dom and Noah.